All right, so to get this started, the flow for today is definitely going to be a bit more of a core-based flow, and it's going to work a bit more into the upper body as well. So a lot of work through basically the chest, shoulders, upper back, and then going through the back line of the body as well, and just kind of have that in mind. We're going to take this toward Peacock toward the end of class, or Mayurasana. If you don't remember the pose, don't worry about it. Go through a long demonstration once we get to that point. But I do have one demonstration before we start. So once we get to the main part of the flow here, at the end of the sequence, we're going to be taking this into side plank. Now, I know side plank isn't exactly a complicated pose by any means, but we're going to be in this pose for a while, and I want you to be sure you got some alternatives here to take things as far as you like. So full plank is when you're on 2 hands and 2 feet, just holding your body in line. Side plank just puts you to one side or the other. So I'm going to use my right hand as my base, roll the outside edge of my right foot, and this is kind of the median variation of the pose here with the legs stacked. Now, this does take some arm strength, but not an incredible amount, okay? So with the base arm, everything is basically just stacked, shoulder over the wrist, and really, this is all just structure here. You're not doing a one-arm push-up. This isn't that crazy. The real muscle work of this pose is keeping your core engaged so you can actually keep your body in line and keep your hips lifted, even biasing this toward a lifted arch. And you want to hold that as much as you can. Now, if your arm's shaking and if you have trouble keeping your hips lifted, there's a few ways to back off. You can always bring the foot of the top leg down to the floor. And you can set it in front of the base leg, you can set it behind, doesn't really matter. Just use it to keep your hips pressed high. And then if you want to back off further than that, you can bring the knee of the bottom leg down to the mat, set up the other leg, and then just reach your free arm high. Whatever variation you take this to, you want to keep everything open to the side and everything stacked vertically. So my left shoulder and left hip stay above the right. Now, I'm going to cue this in the movement, and keep in mind, we're going to be in this pose for a little while, so take the version that you can actually hold on to without getting mad at me, all right? So if you can hold this variation here, and if you want to take this in the movement, the first round, I'm going to cue bringing that front foot forward in front of the bottom one, so you don't have to worry about balancing. If you want to do this with the legs stacked, that's fine. It's going to be trickier, though. We're going to twist. You're going to take an inhale, reaching through that top arm, and then with the exhale, just reach underneath. And we'll take it back and forth like that, and you want to be sure you can keep your hips lifted as you move. Now for the second round, the second sequence, you're going to lengthen this out, reaching that top arm past your head, bicep over the ear, lift the top leg off the bottom one, take an inhale, and then with the exhale, squeeze this in elbow to knee, and we'll take it back and forth. It's a little bit trickier, and again, you want to keep your hips lifted. But work that as best you can. Once we're done with that side plank, we're going to take it into full plank, and just move into the vinyasa from there. So just have that in mind. So let's just get this started. So come on to your back. And you can always change up the setup if you like, but what I'm going to recommend here is keeping your feet on the floor a little wider than your hips. Bring the knees in towards center, and this is to help release your low back to the mat as much as you can. And then arms out at your sides, shoulders to the floor, open up your palms. And then whatever you want to set this up with, you can bring your hands past your head or pull the elbows down in toward your waist. But let your shoulders sink down, let your chest open up. And then just close your eyes. So just give yourself a moment to settle in like this. Let your mind quiet down. And then when you're ready here, just start to deepen your breathing. So with your inhales, draw in as much air as you can and try to fill up your lungs. Hold on to all that breath at the top for just a moment. And then when you exhale, constrict the back of your throat. So slow your breath down on the way back out. And just work here to make your exhales last at least as long as your inhales as you breathe. And just keep breathing like this to begin. And then when you're ready here, take a deep inhale. And when you exhale, just open your eyes. Now just keep the legs out where they are. Take things slow. With your next inhale, reach your arms out long past your head. And then when you exhale, just bring your arms down to your sides. Just keep it slow and smooth. Inhale, reach this out long again. Exhale, arms to your sides. Inhale, reach this out long. Exhale, arms to your sides. Inhale, reach this out long. And with the exhale, bring the arms down again. Inhale, reach us out long. Now with the exhale this time, separate your knees, reach your hands forward between your legs, and then curl up. Lift your head and lift your shoulders as well. Now stay lifted, belly pulled in, low back down, look forward. And then I want you to imagine you're trying to climb forward on a rope here. So reach as far forward as you can with your right hand, and then with the left. And just keep taking this back and forth. Stay lifted here. Now, as you're reaching forward, I want you to work this as a twist. So try to reach for the shoulders rather than just the hands. Let your body move side to side. Press your feet into the floor. And just breathe with us here. Take it at your own pace. Now again, belly pulled in, low back down. Keep stretching long through each arm as you reach this forward. And reach for the shoulders. And just give this a couple more rounds here. Now go ahead and finish this with your left arm reaching forward. Come to center with the hands still forward like this. And with your head still lifted, bring your hands behind your head. Interlace your fingers. Palms open, elbows wide. Enough pressure from your hands that you can look forward without straining your neck. And then from here, just take this into a bit of a twist. So go ahead, fold your knees as far to the right as you can. Keep your gaze forward. And then bring it through center and press your knees down to the left side. Through center from here. Look forward, let the knees come down to the right again. And then back through center. Fold your legs over to the left side. Now just one more round. Bring your knees through center over to the right. Keep your legs pressing down. Keep looking forward. And if you can take it further still, press your legs into the floor. Maybe work to lift that right hip a little bit or just engage toward lifting. And then go to release that side. Switch it out. Bring your knees through center to the left. Press your legs down. Keep looking forward. Maybe work to lift that left hip up off the floor. And then go ahead, bring this back to center. Take an inhale. Now with the exhale, just release your grip. Draw your knees into your chest. Bring your hands to your knees. Squeeze everything in for just a moment. And then release that. Extend all four limbs up toward the ceiling. Now reach up through your hands and through your feet, but stay loose. Roll out your ankles, roll out your wrists, move your fingers and toes for a moment here. And then go ahead and straighten everything out. Reach your fingertips and toe tips toward the ceiling. Belly pulled in, low back down. Now straighten your legs as much as you can. If your hamstrings are tight, you can keep a bend in the knees, but minimize it as best you can. Right arm reaches past your head about 45 degrees. Left leg extends forward about 45 degrees as well, still with your low back on the floor. And then switch it out. Left arm past your head, right leg forward. And then switch it again. And just keep moving like this and taking this back and forth, and breathe with this here. Now you can take it through a longer or shorter range. Just be sure your low back's still on the mat. And just keep breathing here. So keep the tension in your core. Take it out as long as you like or pull it back in. And just try to keep the motion smooth as you bring this back and forth here. And then go ahead and take just a couple more rounds. And try to finish this with the left arm past your head before you bring all four limbs back up to vertical. Take an inhale. And with the exhale, keep your legs extended. Lift your head. Bring your hands behind your head again. And again, interlace your fingers. Palms open, elbows wide. Still with enough pressure just to support your head so you can look forward. Now keep your belly pulled in. Keep the low back on the floor. Straighten your legs as much as you can. Point the toes. Now if you can straighten the legs completely, lock the knees. And if you need a bend, just minimize it here. Start with the ankles positioned over your hips. Now from here, with your low back still on the floor, lower the right heel as far as you can go without your low back lifting. And then bring that leg to vertical. Do the same with your left heel. And then come back up and just keep switching out like this. Now as you're moving, keep your gaze forward. Belly pulled in, low back stays down the whole time. And if you find your low back's lifting, you're lowering your feet too far. Shorten the range if you need to. And just keep the motion consistent, keep it smooth. Now just check in as you're moving. Try to minimize any bend in the knees. Keep reaching through the big toes. Keep your low back down. And then give this just a couple more rounds here. And try to finish this with your with your left heel lowered before you come back to vertical with both legs. Now I want to take it a little bit further still. Low back still on the floor, belly pulled in. Lower the right heel as far down as you can hold it without your low back lifting. And I want to pulse this, bouncing into the right heel. So on my count, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg high. Now bring the left heel down as low as you can without your low back lifting. Hold here. And then pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left leg high, take an inhale. And with the exhale, just release, relax your head, bring your knees to your chest, and again, squeeze down. Now press your spine down flat. You can pull the knees out wide, maybe rock a little bit side to side, but just breathe with us here. And then if you're moving side to side, bring it back into center. Release your grip and bring your feet to the floor. And we're going to set this up for bridge. The feet and knees about hips width distance apart. Heels close enough to your seat that you can flatten your low back as much as possible while you're down like this. Arms at your sides, palms on the floor. Keep your gaze up high. And we'll take this up and down. So with an inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips up as high as you can. And then with the exhale, just roll your spine back down to the mat. Inhale, press your hips up high again. And then with the exhale, roll this down. Now inhale, lift your hips one more time. I want you to hold this here. Keep your heels pressing down. Keep your glutes squeezing, the hips pressing high. Hold on to the tension of the lift. You can just stay right here. Now if you want to take this further, what I'm cueing next is a twist through the upper body. Keep your glutes engaged the whole time. So if you want to go further, press into your left hand and then pick up the right. Right arm reaches past your head up and to the left side as far as you can go. And then come back to center, hips is still high. And then reach your left arm up and to the right as far as you can take this. Keep your glutes squeezing, keep the hips pressing high. Right arm up and to the left again. And then bring it back into center, hips still lifted. Reach your left arm up and to the right again. And then come back to center, back to that bridge. One more round, right arm up and to the left. Keep your hips pressing high, come back to center. Reach your left arm up and to the right. Glutes still engaged, back to center here with your hands down. And then take an inhale. And with the exhale, just slowly roll back down to the mat. Now once you come back down, draw the knees to your chest, bring your hands to your knees, squeeze everything in for a moment. And as you're squeezing, keep pulling in tight. Lift your head, lift your shoulders, bring your nose up toward your knees, curl in. And then when you're ready, cross at the ankles. Roll this forward to a seat, come further to your hands, find all fours. And once you move into all fours, just take a moment, move around. Stretch your hands, stretch your fingers, let your shoulders and hips move side to side, and just feel things out, loosen things up. And feel out where you're loose, where you're tight. And then just come into center. I want to take this further into the wrist. So walk the hands in closer to your knees, within one hand's length. Start with almost all your weight on your legs. Now flip your hands over, backs of the hands down, palms facing up, fingertips point toward the midline of the mat. And fingers spread wide. Now if your fingers spread like this, go ahead and slide the hands together, interlace your fingers, palms still open, press your fingertips into the floor. Now you start with most of the weight on the legs, but straighten your arms as much as you can. Keep the tension in your hands with your fingertips pressing down. You don't need a lot of pressure, but you can lean into this if you want that. Now from here, to take this a little bit further, start with the straight arms, keep the hands active as they are, but then bend to the elbows and just twist down a little bit to the right and come back up. Take it down to the left. And come back up and just feel this out here. Now you got to keep your hands rooted, the fingertips pressed down, and you're just corkscrewing the arms a little bit, going back and forth, and just feel how that changes the stress. You don't have, stretch, I should say. You don't have to go down deep. Now the next time you bring it back to straight arms, just stay up here. Now fingers still spread wide, fingertips pressing down. Start to bring it all the way down. Elbows out to the sides, bring your chest low to the floor. Press back up to straight. And just take it back and forth like this. Keep your fingers spread wide, fingertips pressing down. Keep breathing as you move, and just keep the motion smooth here. And the next time you come up to straight arms, just hold. Fingertips pressing down, arms straight, spine pressed up high. And then go ahead and release this. Come up onto the fingertips. And we're going to switch this out for the next stretch. Now this is going to be one of the entries for Peacock here. So go ahead and bring the knees out wide, wider than the hips. Big toes point toward each other like you're about to come into child's pose. Walk your hands in, and what you're going to do here is set the hands down on the line that you can draw between your knees. Now it's palms down, fingertips rotated out to the side. If you can, rotate your fingers as far back as possible. And set the hands down flat, about shoulder width. Now press into your palms, spread the fingers wide, grip the floor with your fingers. Keep the hands active like this. Now keep your seat low to your heels, but pull your chest forward between the upper arms and bend the elbows in toward each other. You're trying to press your elbows toward the ribs, or get as close to that as you can. Keep some weight on the hands here to start. Now keep gripping the floor. If this is enough right here, stay with this. If you can take it further, start from this position, go slow, keep looking forward, pull your chest forward a little, bend in the elbows, don't go too fast. And then just come back up and keep weight in your hands. And keep on moving back and forth like this. Now be careful as you move here. Don't just set your face down on the floor. You want to keep looking forward rather than down. Keep your chest pulling forward. As you get used to how your balance shifts, maybe come down a little bit deeper, but just feel it out. Now, the next time you bring your weight forward, stay forward. Look forward. Keep pulling the chest forward. Maybe come down a little bit deeper. And if you want to take it further still, keep gripping with your fingertips. Let the knees slide out to the sides, more weight on the arms. And if you want a little taste of peacock here, start to lean forward. See about just lifting your knees up off the floor. And then if you lifted them, set them down. Now come up onto your fingertips down to sitting on your heels and just take a moment. Shake your hands out. Loosen up your fingers and loosen up your wrists. And we will be coming to that setup again at the end of class, keep in mind. Once you're ready from here, come down into all fours. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We're going to take a few variations of a modified side plank. So to start, let's bring it to the right side. Left foot steps behind the right. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Now just keep everything stacked. Left shoulder, left hip above the right. Grip the floor with the right hand. Kick down with the right foot. And then see about reaching your left arm high. Maybe lift the left leg. Feel out your balance here for a moment. And then bring it down. Come into center. Let's take it to the other side. So step the right foot behind the left. Right hand to the right hip. Now grip the floor with the left hand. Kick down with the left foot. If you want to go further, reach the right arm high. You can always stay here. Maybe lift the right foot. And then bring it back down. We're going to take some movement with that. So bring it over to the right side. Left foot steps behind the right. Left hand to your left hip. Now open up. You can always stay here. If you want to go further, see about reaching the left arm high. Maybe lift the left leg. You can always just stay in place. Now if you want to take this into movement, bring that left arm behind your back. Palm face. We take a half bind with the shoulder pulled back. Keep your chest open. Keep the shoulders stacked. And then reach to that left big toe. Straighten the left leg as completely as you can. Now, without bending the left knee, bring that left foot behind you. Touch the big toe down to the floor. We're going to go back and forth diagonally with that left leg. Keep that left shoulder high. Now, you can bend the knee or keep the leg straight, but bring that left big toe forward up toward the front of the mat in front of you. And then extend that leg back and across. Left big toe forward toward the front of the mat. Extend the leg back and across. Bring that left big toe toward the front of the mat again. And then back and across. One more time. Bring the left big toe forward. And then come back and across. And then go ahead and release that. Let's take it to the other side. So come back to all fours. Now when you're ready, come over to the left side. Right foot behind the left, right hand on the right hip. And just take this to where you like. Grip the floor with your left hand. Reach high with the right arm. And maybe lift that right leg. You can always just stay in place again. Now if you want to move, take the half bind. Right arm behind your back, palm face. Maybe pull the shoulder back. Keep your chest open. Keep that right shoulder high. Straighten the right leg and reach for the right big toe. No bend in the right knee. Bring the right foot behind you as far as you can. Touch the big toe down. And if you need to bend the knee to take it back and forth, feel free, or straighten the leg. But bring that right big toe forward toward the front of the mat in front of you. And then extend the leg back and across. Right big toe toward the front of the mat again. And then come back and across. Right big toe toward the front of the mat. Keep the right shoulder high. Extend the leg back and across. One more time. Right big toe toward the front of the mat. And extend the leg back and across. And then come back to center, back to all fours. And just take a moment here to breathe, move around. Now you can just stay here and breathe, take another stretch if you like, but whenever you're ready, go ahead, tuck your toes, straighten your legs, lift your hips, and find your downward facing dog. Paddle out for a moment here, let your hips move side to side. And then take a look at how you set up your position here. Now flatten your hands as much as you can. Press into the base of your thumbs and keep that part of the palm grounded as well as the outside edge. Sink your chest down low. Now even as your chest sinks down, press your hips up as high as you can and let that upward reach of the hips straighten and lengthen everything out in the upper body. Hold some tension in your core through the belly around the low ribs. Keep your hips pressing high. And if your legs are tight, if your hamstrings are tight, go ahead, put them on the knees and let that go. You can always just stay loose and pedal this out, move your hips from side to side. When you're ready here, take an inhale. Now with the exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step this to the front of the mat. Let's take a ragdoll fold. Feet about hips width distance apart, deep bend in the knees. Let your belly touch your thighs, let your head hang, let your spine round. Let everything go long and loose, let the muscles in your neck relax. Now you can hang your hands to the floor. You can reach to opposite elbows if you like, and maybe shake this side to side to loosen further. And then from wherever you are here, just keep that bend in the knees to begin, but release any grip that you have. And slowly round this up to standing. Restack your spine. Bring your head up last, and then open up your palms at your sides. When you're ready, with an inhale, reach your arms up high. And then with the exhale, just bring your hands down to heart center. Take a moment here to breathe, set an intention. Let your mind clear, find your focus. Take a deep inhale. And then with the exhale, just release your hands. With the next inhale, reach your arms up high. And with the exhale, slowly fold this forward. Now, hand to the hips, start with a straight spine, put a bend in your knees. Keep your core engaged, move smoothly, and then just release this at the bottom. Now, with an inhale, lift this up halfway, fingertips to the floor, to the shins, lengthen forward to the crown of your head. And with the exhale, bring your hands to the mat, step this back to high plank. Find your shape here. Resting the shoulders, palms pressed to the floor. Press the floor away from you. Press your spine up toward the ceiling. Keep your spine lifted. Keep the shoulder blades spread apart. Hold your body in line, shoulders through hips through heels. When you're ready, take an inhale. And with the exhale, slowly bring your shoulders forward as the elbows bend. Now keep your body in line, elbows pulled into your sides, and lower with control all the way down into your belly. Once you're down, flatten the feet out behind you. Hands under the shoulders, elbows into your sides. And we're going to take it up and down through low cobra. So with an inhale, just peel up your head, neck, and chest. Exhale, roll this back down. Inhale, peel up again. Exhale, roll back down. Inhale, peel up one more time. Now just stay lifted here. Now keep the lift in the upper body, press into your feet. Take some or all the weight out of your hands. Elbows at your sides, pull the shoulders back. Keep your gaze at least slightly forward. Lift up a little bit higher. Now I want you to keep that lift, take an inhale. And with exhale, just bring your hands down. Now one by one, slide your hands forward and take this into Sphinx. So it's elbows underneath the shoulders, forearms parallel, palms down. Grip the floor with your fingers. Now before you worry about the back bend here, ground this down. So kick your feet into the floor, squeeze your glutes, press the hips into the mat. And then with that grip, press into the floor with your hands. Start to pull your chest forward between your upper arms. This may be enough already. You're trying to pull your spine forward, up and out of the pelvis. Now if you can take it further still, draw your chin in just a little bit, crown of the head toward the ceiling. And then maybe keep pulling forward and see if the elbows lift. Now if you're going to take that deeper bend, keep your spine lengthening, pulling forward again, up and out of the pelvis. Keep breathing here. Take an inhale. With the exhale, slowly come back down if you lifted at all. Slide the hands back in and bring your chin back down to the mat. So hands under the shoulders, elbows into your sides. We're setting this up for upward facing dog. When you're ready, with an inhale, straighten your arms. Now pull your chest forward, let your hips hang, stay on the tops of your feet in this position. Keep your legs active, work to lift the knees up from the mat. To take it further, kick your feet down, squeeze your glutes. Pull your hips forward to deepen and lengthen the arc all through the front. Lift with your arms, lift with your shoulders as well. Make your neck nice and long. Pull your chin in, reach the top of the head toward the ceiling. Take an inhale. And then with the exhale, draw the belly and bring your hips up high, back to down dog. Paddle out for a moment, let your hips move side to side. Now from your down dog, take an inhale. With the exhale, bend your knees. Look forward, step or float to the front. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale is standing, arms reach up high. With the exhale, sink into chair. Put the weight to your heels, bend your knees, and bring your hips down low. Now pay attention to your stance. Feet within hips with distance, not too wide. Big toes and knees towards center, belly pulled in. We're going to bind this from above. Right hand behind your head with the palm facing in. Left palm faces the other way. Clasp your fingers. And then with your left arm, draw the right arm behind your head. Press your head back. And keep your chest open. Keep your gaze forward. Keep the shoulders pulled back. You can sink this lower if you like. Now focus the weight on the left foot. Lift the right heel. Toes the right foot on the floor. Go back and forth from this. Extend the right leg forward. Dip the heel down. And then step the toes back in. Right leg forward. Dip the heel down. Step the toes back in. Right leg forward, heel to the floor. Hold this. Stay tall through your spine. And if you want to go further, maybe sink lower and slide that heel further forward. But then step that right foot down next to the left. Now press into the right foot. Lift your left heel this time. Stay tall. When you're ready, bring yourself up to standing with your left knee high. Now keep your gaze forward. Keep your balance. We're going to move just a little bit. So left heel touches your right knee. Now sink down just a little. Touch the left knee to your right calf. Bring it back up again, heel to knee. Sink back down, knee to calf. Bring it up, heel to knee. And then down, knee to calf one more time. Now bring it up, and this time bring your legs into eagle. Cross the left leg over the right. Squeeze the legs together, sink down. You can always touch that left foot to the floor if you need the support. But bring the hips low, keep the legs squeezed, and keep your shoulders pulled back. And then when you're ready, just release your hands and take the eagle bind with the arms as well. It's going to be left arm under, right arm over. Cross at the elbows, palms to touch thumbs toward your face. Now, if it's too much to get the hands together, do what works. You can always reach across to opposite shoulders. Either way, keep squeezing, spread the shoulder blades apart. Shoulders down, elbows high. Keep breathing here. When you're ready, with an inhale, straighten the right leg, lift your left knee. And then step your left foot back. Let's take this to warrior one. So just feel this out for a moment. Deep under the right knee, left leg straight, both feet are flat. Left foot rotates to the side about 45 degrees or so. But see, you can square your hips. Pull the right hip back and the left hip forward. And you can always shorten or widen the stance to accommodate your hips here. To sink the hips down low and just keep the stance as is. Now we're going to take this with the upper body. So with that eagle bind, with an inhale, lift your elbows, gaze up high, draw the shoulder blades towards your mid-back, and then curl this back in. Elbows toward your belly, round your spine. Go ahead, hinge from the hips and touch that right shoulder toward the right knee or get close. Now round it back up. Open up. Elbows toward the ceiling, bring your gaze up high, and then pull back in, curl down. Elbows toward your belly, and bring that shoulder down toward the knee. Bring it back up again. Lift the arms, elbows high, open up the upper back, and then curl down one more time. Elbows toward your belly, maybe hinge down and bring the shoulder toward the knee one more time, and then bring it back up. And we'll open up and stay open this time. So bring the forearms toward parallel with the ceiling. Pull the shoulder blades in toward your mid-back. Keep breathing here. Left hip still pulling forward, right hip still pulling back. Keep the hips low. Now hold on to the shape, take an inhale. And with the exhale, just release the eagle bind. Reach your hands down to the floor behind you, and then bring your palms together. Now, fingers in the lace, draw the shoulders back, open up your chest further. Take an inhale. And with the exhale, just keep that grip and bring your gaze forward. Now, when you're ready from here, lean forward to the right foot, lift your left heel, slide the left foot back, come into a high lunge, and then very slowly just bring that left knee all the way down to the floor and take a kneeling lunge here. So flatten the left foot behind you, kick down into it, press the hips forward, and take this toward a half split. So walk that right foot forward, heel to the floor, toes toward the ceiling, straighten the leg as best you can, pull the right hip back, left hip forward, and if your hamstrings are tight, keep a little bit on that knee. We're just going to fold this toward halfway down. Shoulders pulled back, take an inhale. Now with the exhale, slowly hinge from the hips, keep your gaze forward, touch the belly to the right thigh, and then with an inhale, slowly bring this all the way upright. Exhale, hinge forward again. Belly to the right thigh, shoulders pulled back, look forward. You can always bend that right knee. Inhale, bring this all the way upright again. Now with the exhale, hinge forward one more time. Belly to the right thigh, pull the shoulders back, look forward, bend that right knee if you need to. But keep that contact of the belly against the thigh. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward. And if you want to go further, you can always press your knuckles toward the ceiling as well. Now with your next inhale, slowly bring yourself upright. Now bend the right knee, set the right foot flat again, back to that kneeling lunge. Kick into the left foot, squeeze your glutes, press the hips forward. This is more of a half camel variation. So when you're ready, with an inhale, just press your knuckles down, draw the shoulders back, bring your gaze up high, press your hips forward. And then bring it back to vertical and bring your gaze forward as well. Now again from here, press the knuckles down, let your shoulders pull back, gaze up high, and then bring yourself back upright and look forward. Now I want to switch the arm bind a little bit, so go ahead and release your hands. Half bind with the left arm across your lower back, right hand reaching toward the floor. And this time, reach that right hand down, draw the shoulders back, bring your gaze up high, hold here. Now keep the glutes squeezing, keep your hips pressing forward, feel that length on the front of the left side, and kick into that left foot. Now maybe take this to a twist. You can look down over the right shoulder, maybe reach that right hand further to the floor, and maybe reach that right hand for your left heel, but keep your hips pulling forward, keep breathing here, and take the bend toward the upper back. Everybody take an inhale. Now with the exhale, slowly turn back to center, bring yourself upright, hands to your hips. When you're ready, with an inhale, reach the arms up high. And then with the exhale, hands to the floor around that right foot. Now tuck the toes, left foot, lift your left knee, bring it into low lunge. And then from low lunge, we're going to take it to side plank. So left hand's your base. Roll to the outside edge of the left foot, slide your right foot back. Now you can keep the right foot down, you can drop the left knee down, or you can stack the legs. But keep the left arm strong, keep your hips pressing high, reach high through that right arm. This is good enough right here. Now if you want to move, step the right foot forward to the left, and we'll twist. So take an inhale. With the exhale, reach that right arm underneath, hips stay high. Inhale, reach up toward the ceiling. Exhale, twist. Inhale, right arm high. Exhale, twist again. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, twist. Inhale, the right arm high. Exhale, twist one more time. Now inhale, reach this up high, and just come back to your side plank. Keep your hips lifted, keep breathing. Take an inhale. Now with the exhale, just roll into center. Come on to both hands, full plank. And then when you're ready, take it through your vinyasa. Now once you find it down dog, give yourself a moment here, paddle things out, stay loose. We're going to bring all that to the other side. So when you're ready here, take an inhale. With the exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or float to the front. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale to standing, arms reach up high. And with the exhale, sink down into the chair. Put the weight to the heels, bend your knees, and bring your hips down low. Now again, pay attention to your stance. Feet not too wide within hips with distance. Big toes, knees towards center, belly pulled in. Bind it from above. Left hand behind your head, palm faces in. Right palm the other way, clasp your fingers. And with your right arm, draw the left arm behind your head. Keep the shoulders back, keep your chest open, keep looking straight forward, keep your hips low. And then focus the weight on the right foot and lift your left heel. Still in chair. Left leg forward, dip the heel down. And then step the toes back in. Left leg forward, dip the heel. Step the toes back in. Left leg forward, dip the heel, hold this. Now you can slide that heel further, maybe sink down lower, just take it the way you can. And then step the left foot down flat, just next to the right. Now put the weight to the left foot, lift your right heel. Bring yourself up to standing with the right knee high, straighten that left leg and just breathe. Now keep your gaze forward, keep your balance, and just take this bit by bit. Right heel touches the left knee. Now come down just a little bit, right knee to left calf. Bring it back up, heel to knee. Sink back down, knee to calf. Bring it up, heel to knee. And then knee to calf one more time. Now next time you bring it up, right leg goes over the left. Cross your legs, squeeze them together, sink down. You can always touch the toes of the right foot to the floor. Now keep your hips low, shoulders pulled back, keep breathing here. And then go ahead, release this arm bind and take an eagle bind with your arms. So it's going to be right arm under, this time left arm over. Cross the elbows, palms to touch, thumbs toward your face. And again, if you need to, just reach across the opposite shoulders. Either way, shoulders down, elbows high, keep the arms and legs squeezing, keep breathing. Now when you're ready, pressing that left foot, straighten the left leg, lift the right knee. And then step the right foot back, find warrior one on this side. So deep bend left knee, straight right leg, both feet flat. Right foot rotates to the side 45 degrees or so. Be sure you can pull the left hip forward, right hip back this time, and square your hips. You can always make the stance shorter, you can always make it wider. Let it accommodate your hips. And sink low here. Now just moving through the upper body. With an inhale, lift your elbows, gaze up high, pull the shoulder blades toward your mid-back. And then curl back in. Elbows toward your belly, round your spine. Maybe hinge from the hips and bring that left shoulder toward the left knee. Bring it back up again. Round up, lift the elbows, gaze high, shoulders back. And then curl back down. Elbows toward your belly. And bring that left shoulder down low. And then round it back up. Lift the elbows, gaze up high. Curl back in. Elbows toward your belly, maybe bring that left shoulder down low. Now one more time, go ahead, round this up. And we'll keep the chest open like this. So gaze up high, lift the elbows, hold here. Right hip back, or right hip forward, rather, left hip back. And then while you're in this shape, just release the arm bind, reach your hands down to the floor. Now when you're ready, bring your palms together, find the grip that feels strange, interlace the fingers. And then press the knuckles down toward the floor, open your chest a little further. When you're ready, you take an inhale. Now with the exhale, just bring yourself upright, look forward. Now lean forward to the left foot, lift your right heel. Slide the toes of the right foot back, find more of a lunging stance. And then very slowly, just bring that right knee all the way down to the floor, come to a kneeling lunge. When the right knee's down, flatten the right foot. Kick down into the right foot, keep your hips pressing forward. And then go ahead and start to straighten that left leg. Heel to the floor, toes up toward the ceiling. Now if your hamstrings are tight, keep a little bit on that left knee. If you got a straight left leg, pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Be sure you can fold this down and touch your belly to your thigh. Take an inhale. Now at the exhale, hinge from the hips. Shoulders pulled back, belly touches your left thigh. Keep your gaze forward. And then again, bring this all the way upright. Bring it forward when you're ready. Belly to your left thigh, shoulders pulled back, look forward, bend that left knee if you need to. And then come all the way back up again. One more time, hinge from the hips. Keep your shoulders pulled back, belly touches your left thigh, breathe into this. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Maybe even press your knuckles toward the ceiling if you want to go there. And then slowly, as you're ready, bring your torso upright. Bend back into that left knee, set the left foot flat. So you're back in that kneeling lunge. Now kick down to the right foot. Squeeze your glutes, press your hips forward. More of a half camel variation from here. So press your knuckles toward the floor, draw the shoulders back, bring your gaze up high, open the chest and upper back. And then bring it back to vertical and look forward. Press your knuckles down, bring your gaze up high, open up your chest, keep your hips pressing forward. and then come back up to vertical. Now change the bind. Release your hands. Right arm in a half bind across your low back, left hand reaching toward the floor. Now reach that left hand down, draw your shoulders back, gaze up high, hold here. This is good enough. Keep your hips pressing forward. Now maybe take it toward a bit of a twist. You can look down over your left shoulder, maybe reach that left hand to the floor. Maybe reach that left hand for the right heel. Now keep kicking into that right foot, keep that right hip moving forward, keep the glutes engaged, and just lengthen out the front of the right side. Take an inhale. And then with the exhale, just slowly turn to center, hands to your hips. When you're ready, with an inhale, reach the arms up high. And then with the exhale, bring the hands down around that left foot, tuck the toes to the right, lift your right knee, you're back in low lunge. Now from low lunge to your side plank, right hand's your base, roll to the outside edge of the right foot, and slide the left foot back. Left foot can stay down, right knee could come down, maybe you stack the legs. Keep your hips up high, keep the right arm strong, reach your left arm high, maybe stay here. Now if you want to move with it, step the left foot in front of the right, take an inhale. And with the exhale, twist, left arm underneath. Inhale, reach us up high. Exhale, twist. Inhale, the left arm high. Exhale, twist again. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, twist. Inhale, the left arm high. Exhale, twist one more time. Now inhale, reach the left arm high and just settle back into your side plank. Be sure the hips are still lifted, keep breathing. And then take an inhale. Now with the exhale, just roll back into center. On both hands, find high plank. And we're ready. Take it through another vinyasa. Give yourself a moment, paddle out, stay loose, slow your breathing down. Take an inhale. And with the exhale, bend the knees, bring them all the way down to the floor. And just come into a seat, shake your hands out for just a moment. And we're going to take this right into Peacock. So we've done the initial setup here already in that wrist stretch. So go ahead and do this with me. So we're coming to that setup where the legs are coming like you're coming into child's pose. Knees wider than your hips, big toes point toward each other. Now keep your seat low. Walk your hands in, and now this is where we get a little bit more technical. Now again, you're going to set the hands down on the line that you draw between your knees, palms down, and the wrist stretch is actually part of the pose. So you need to rotate your fingers at least 90 degrees to the side. If you can take it further, rotate your fingers all the way back. Just come as far in that rotation as you can, but at least out to the right and out to the left. Now when you set your hands down, what you need to do is set your hands in position where you can actually get the elbows underneath your torso, underneath the rib cage more or less. Now, maybe the hands are wide and then the elbows pulling diagonally, or maybe you have to bring the hands together to make that happen. It depends on how long your arms are in relation to your torso. My arms are freakishly long, so I can do either version with no problem. That is not true for everybody, so get ready to adjust this if you need to. So again, hands on that line between the knees, rotate your fingers to the side and then maybe back. Set your hands down and be sure you can get the elbows underneath. So you need to pull your chest forward between the upper arms, bend the elbows in toward each other underneath your torso somewhere, and grip the floor with your fingers. Now once you have this, think about holding a back bend in your upper back. Keep your chest pulling forward, keep looking forward. Slide the knees further out to the sides to put more weight on your arms. And then grip the floor, look forward, lean forward, take it slow. And as you're leaning, pull your chest forward, let your legs get light, let them lift. Now it's easiest to do this with bent knees. If you want to take it further, keep leaning forward, maybe extend your legs out to the sides in a straddle, maybe bring the legs together, and just feel this out here. Now it takes a lot of core engagement, keep in mind your elbows are pressing into you, so you have to stay tense in your midsection. I'm sure you figured that out. All right, now you can work with that again if you like. Otherwise, you go ahead and follow along with me and take the second setup. And this is a little bit more direct, and this is from plank. So for this, and some people find this easier, some people don't, but just feel this out. So find your high plank shape, rest beneath the shoulders and legs together behind you to start. Now from here to adjust, slide your hands in a little bit closer to your feet, probably about 4 inches or so. Now this is where you have to adjust the hand position. It's not going to be exactly the same as with the other setup. So again, rotate your fingers to the side, maybe all the way back. And you can always set the hands wide or set them narrow. Now once you set your hands down, bring your chest forward between the upper arms, bend the elbows in toward each other, set yourself down on the shelf of the upper arms. The elbows should be pressing in. Now look forward, pull your chest forward, and if you're going to start this with bent knees, just walk your feet in, let the knees go out to the sides. Lean forward, look forward to lift your feet. And again, you can take the straddle with the legs to the sides. You can extend with the legs together. But just take it the way you can and feel it out. And this is not an easy pose by any means, but the larger point with this is it's not impossible. As impossible as it looks when you see somebody else doing it. Now, if you want to play around with that further, feel free. And if you had about enough of that for now, bring yourself into all fours and we'll start to cool this down. So from all fours, we're going to move into Gomukhasana. So go ahead and bring the right knee forward to the center of the mat. Right foot goes over the left. You're going to cross the legs here. Really press the left knee in behind the right and get your feet out as wide as you can. Now, as the legs are squeezing, sink down, come to a seat between your heels. And just give yourself a moment to feel this out. Try to get both sit bones down to the floor. If you just want to stay with the leg bind, this is enough. Now, if you want the upper body bind, we'll take half of it from below. So right arm crosses your low back, palm facing away. Reach back with your left hand and grip the wrist, maybe the forearm, or maybe reach all the way to the elbow. But use that left hand, draw the right shoulder back, open up your chest. You can stay here. Now, if you want the full bind, this won't be for everybody, but you can bring that right hand up between the shoulder blades. Left arm comes from above. See about finding that grip somewhere in between. Now, wherever you take this to, let the shoulders get drawn back, look forward. And if you want to fold this forward, feel free. I do recommend for most people just letting this be a shoulder and chest opener here, because that's what most people need. But you can take it to where you like. Just breathe with this. Take the combination of stretches that works for you right now. When you're ready here, taking it now. And with the exhale, just release whatever arm bind you're in. Set both hands down behind you. Lean back and untangle the legs. And then just cross the ankles. Roll forward. Your hands find all fours. And then let's take it to the other side. So from all fours, bring your left knee forward this time. Left foot goes to the right side. Pull the right knee in directly behind the left. Squeeze the legs together tight and get your feet out wide. Now as the legs squeeze together, come down to sitting between your heels. And if you need to back off from this, you can always extend the bottom leg forward with the top leg crossed. But give yourself a moment just to settle into your seat. Now, if you want the arm bind, again, from below, cross your low back with your left arm, palm facing away. Reach back with the right hand and take whatever grip suits you here. You can hold the wrist, grab the forearm, or maybe reach the elbow. And open up your chest like this, draw that shoulder back. If you want the full bind, left hand up between the shoulder blades. Right arm comes from above. And then see about finding that grip somewhere in between. Now again, I do recommend just keeping this chest open, the shoulders pulled back. If you want to fold it forward, you can take it there. And just work the combination of stretches that suits you here. Just breathe with this for a moment. When you're ready here, take an inhale. And then with the exhale, just release your grip. Now both hands down behind you. Go ahead, lean back, untangle the legs. And now this time, bring yourself all the way down onto your back. So draw your knees into your chest, squeeze everything in for a moment. And then we're going to take a supine twist variation. So when you're ready, just go ahead and extend that left leg out fully. And bring the left hand to your right knee. Now right arm out to your side. Draw the right knee across your body, tuck the left hip underneath. And keep both shoulders down. Now as you move into the twist, bring your gaze to the right. Look for the stretch in the outer right hip toward your low back. And if you need to take it further, you can press down with your left hand. You can even straighten your right leg out to the side if you want to take it further still. Now if you want to take it deeper, you can actually bind both feet. So if you're interested in that, you can bend the left knee, pull the heel up toward your seat, reach down with the right hand. And when you find that left foot, go ahead, kick into your hand, but use the tension here with the both binds to keep the shoulders grounded and keep the gaze to the right. Just take it to where you can here and breathe with this. Take a deep inhale. Now with the exhale, just slowly release from the twist. Come back to center, bring both knees into your chest for a moment. And then switch out when you're ready. So extend the right leg this time. Right hand to your left knee, left arm to the side. Draw your left knee across your body, tuck the right hip underneath, both shoulders down, bring your gaze left. And this is good enough here. Look for that stretch in the outer left hip toward your low back. If you need to go further, you can press with the right hand. Maybe extend that left leg out to the side. And then if you want to take the double bind, go ahead, bend the right knee, pull the heel up toward your seat, reach with your left hand. And once you find that grip, kick into your hand, but keep the shoulders pressing down. Just breathe here. Just take the twist away you can. Take a deep inhale. Now with the exhale, just release any grip you have. Come back to center. Drop both knees into your chest side by side for a moment. And then let's take this into happy baby. So reach between the knees. Take hold of the outside edges of your feet. Stack your ankles above your knees. And then pull down on both sides. So draw the knees down toward the floor outside your ribs. Press your feet back up into your hands at the same time. Keep the tension working both up and down. Flatten your spine, stick your tailbone toward the floor. And if you want to take it further, you can rock this a little bit side to side. If you want to take it further still, you can extend your legs out against your grip. And then finally, from wherever you are, take a deep inhale here. Draw it down as much as you can. And with your exhale, just release. Extend your legs out fully. Lay your arms at your sides. Open up your palms to the ceiling. And just let your eyes close here and let your body settle down into the mat for a moment. And when you're ready, just start to move again bit by bit, fingers and toes, arms and legs. Extend this out long. Take an inhale, reach your arms out long past your head. Let your body stretch for a breath or two. And draw this back in. Bring the elbows toward your chest. Draw the knees up as well. And just take your time here. Find your way up to a comfortable seat. Go ahead, ground yourself into the mat, stack your spine. Bring your hands up the heart center. And then take a deep inhale here, hold on to the top. And just let everything go. Thank you for joining class today. Namaste.